To today, this council has increased its council tax by the capping limit of 2% and has also added to that 10% adult social care precept. So over that period to today, we have maxed out on council tax to gain the revenue that we need. But unfortunately, and it is unfortunately, the increased costs of adults, children and vulnerable people requiring social care has grown faster than the revenue that we have been able to gain from council tax. And that is the thing that has put us into this position today. Now, we are determined to continue to support vulnerable people. And one of the ways in which we will do that is to take some what might be unpopular, but are necessarily and certainly not unfair decisions. And some of those things are in this budget today, and many of those, including parking charges, are the things that the members opposite have argued against. My question to you is, what do you want us to do? Do you want to leave vulnerable people unprotected? Because that is not what we wish to do. Councillor De Costa is proposing using money from the local economic partnership to subsidise parking. Well, that funding is ring-fenced in order for this council to improve the environment in Windsor, to make it a better place for visitors, residents and shoppers, so that does increase footfall. And I think like us, I'd actually say that the parking discounts that we have in Windsor just did not make sense, and they definitely need to be reviewed. On grants, why is it that members opposite believe that this council and council taxpayers should pay for all grants to all voluntary organisations? Because this council's role is in fact to provide seed call to the energetic voluntary organisations who will get off their bottoms and go and find funding from other sources that have funds available specifically for their purposes. And the last point I'll make is that Councillor Lynn Jones suggested that in order to balance next year's budget, we needed to save £14 million. It's 4.4 million. And we have £1.7 million in reserves, in a reserve in the budget, a provision in the budget, which we can use should we need to, if we can. Thank you. But we are determined that money will not be spent, that we are going to be assiduous in making sure that savings are made through this coming year, and that money goes back into reserves and supports next year's budget. And there are other areas where we know that we can put funding into it. So this year's budget is set, and we can already see that we can get adequate funds to support it. Thank you very much indeed, Larry.
Before we move to the vote on item 7.1, do any councillors wish to say anything in relation to the council tax deduction scheme that has not been already debated? Yes. No, I'm not taking anything. Sorry, no. I'm asking the question about estimation. Yes, yes, Councillor First, are you indicating to say something on tax reduction? Yes. Okay. Something that has not been already said.
I have great concerns about the consultation that was conducted. Its lack of rigour, lack of adherence to RBM standards and non-adherence to statutory obligations, thus leaving the council open to possible lawsuits. The consultation was conducted from the 23rd of December to the 7th of February, and setting aside Christmas and New Year, in effect giving all parties 4 weeks to respond. And is that reasonable where a greater than 100% rise to our poorest residents is proposed? And I thought 6 weeks was the RBM standard. The results were unavailable when the corporate scrutiny panel met, so there's not been the opportunity to scrutinise the results and the methodology. Thus, the timing of this consultation was too rushed to be meaningful. The report clearly states that the 1992 Local Government Finance Act requires Council to consult with recipients of CTR and the wider Council taxpayers. At the scrutiny panel, I asked if the current recipients of CTR had all been consulted in order that they could respond and indeed start budgeting for an increase, and I was informed no, as that would be too expensive. So the Council did not adhere to its statutory requirement, and an alleged cost does not remove that duty. And did it matter? Yes, when you look at the response. The response rate from the current 2,621 recipients was only 21, a 0.8% response rate, and this would strongly suggest that current recipients were unaware. So were the wider taxpayers consulted as required by law? The total number of responses from individuals was 138, again a wondrously low response rate. So how were residents and CTR recipients contacted? There were emails to community groups or charities identified as likely to be in contact with CTR customers. The selection of such groups is suspect. The Disability and Inclusion Forum, the WINS Homeless Project, Housing Solutions and Radian were not consulted, nor were the Maidenhead Lions, but the WINS Alliance were. This group consulted is not representative of the bodies across the borough dealing with our poorest, and what is of more concern is that the email informing them of the consultation was only sent out on the 29th of January, given 1 week for such organisations to respond. Government guidance states consultation exercises should be designed to be accessible to and clearly targeted at those people the exercise is intended to reach. This was clearly not. And it is hard to see how the Royal Borough have complied with the public sector equality duty under Section 149 of the Equality Act, when members have not even been provided with the equality impact assessment referred to in paragraph 11. And the recent Court of Appeal judgment versus Bracking and Somerset makes it clear that all councillors must have access to the full EIA and must have read it before changing policy. And have each and every one of you read the full EIA, which is this. If you have not, you will have noted that this was prepared on the 5th of February, i.e. at the end of the consultation process, not before. It was not approved by the head of service, and as required under the openness and transparency, was not appended to the report. So was this consultation clear to readers? Again, government guidance states that consultation should be informative, but there was no attached papers to the consultation explaining the changes. And I consider myself fairly good at reading papers, but I had to read and reread this consultation to understand fully the implications. And indeed, this lack of clarity led to Sunningdale Parish Council posting misleading information on their website, informing residents the change will only affect those who are of working age who are on a low income. If you're a pensioner, you'll not be affected. And yet, if you are a pensioner in a household with someone of working age, you could be affected. So I trust you will now understand why I have grave concerns about this being approved tonight. Thank you.
Councillor Reynolds, if you've got something to say, that is the council tax reduction only and the sub-increase.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. When running the council last year, time and time again, I heard residents tell me, RBWM don't care what I think. And I think this move proves them right. Almost 70% of respondents to the consultation did not support changes, yet the Service Administration is proposing to steamroller ahead, ignoring the residents and heading into something that will hit our most vulnerable and our lowest income residents. Councillor Johnson has claimed that all we ask them to do is put in a little bit more. For our most vulnerable residents and those on the lowest incomes, often struggling with the cost of living and living month to month, a little bit more might be that little bit too much. Work by the New Policy Institute, funded by the Joseph Andrews Foundation, shows how there is a causal link between changing the payments and increasing council tax arrears, as noted in the reports. This will cause harm to the council with higher costs in administration and in court costs. But it would also have a disastrous effect on the mental health of some of our most vulnerable residents that this will be hitting. Something that I don't believe is mentioned in the reports. This is something that could have been avoided. We know this could have been avoided. It's something that we've been talking about all evening. But now our most vulnerable residents will be paying for the failures in the past. And we cannot let that happen. Thank you very much.
Councillor Hilton?
I will say a few words, Madam Mayor. My understanding, and I'm sure it is true, that there is a safety net around this particular service, and this council provides that safety net. The other thing is that those that this council is moving to the same level of discount as the four unitary authorities that have the highest level of discount. And so it is putting people in the same place as people are across 4 of the 6 unitary authorities. But the advantage that members, people who live in Windsor and Maidenhead have, is that their council tax is significantly lower than all of the other local authorities. So even with this scheme, they will pay less than their counterparts in other local authorities, and in the event of there being significant hardship, that will be addressed.
Councillor Johnson?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would wholeheartedly endorse what my colleague Councillor Hilton has just said. 2 points I'll come back on. Do I think that the consultation we undertook was thorough and robust? Absolutely I do. If any organisation feels different, I await that challenge, but I stand by the work that our team has done in getting us to this position where we're able to put forward this report. On the substantive, I heard not long ago a recommendation that we should massively increase council tax and have a council tax referendum. That would have a disproportionate effect, I would suggest, on those close to, if not at, the very bottom, that didn't actually qualify for the council tax reduction. Let me tell you why I favour low council tax. I favour low council tax because those that aren't in receipt of benefits, but yet still earn low incomes, pay low levels of council tax. Simply ramping it up, whether we left it at 8.5% or raised it to 20%, will have a disproportionate impact on said people. So I favour low tax for a reason. But look, all we're seeking to do is to bring our level into line with every other Berkshire authority, less West Berks and Reading. And we'll look at Reading actually, 35%. Is their proposed contribution for 2020-2021. Personally, I think that's too high. 20% is about the right level. The 2 highest bands, Band B, 810 properties, Band C, 858 properties. Again, compare those 2 bands with our neighbouring authorities. We are considerably lower. As a result, they are paying considerably less than if they lived in Wokingham or Bracknell Forest, where they'd be paying 20% of a much higher level of council tax. I'm not ashamed that this is a low council tax borough. It's going to stay a low council tax borough. All we're saying is we're looking to realign with some of our neighbouring authorities and ask just a little bit more. Of still not a high figure when you compare it to Slough, to Reading, to West Berks, to Wokingham, to all the other authorities, apart from those small number of London councils that charge low council tax than us. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now ask the clerk take a name vote on the on the council tax reduction scheme.
Okay, members, I'll read your names out in alphabetical order. From please state if you're voting for, against or abstaining the motions on the council tax reduction scheme. Councillor Baldwin.
Against.
Councillor Baskerville.
Against.
Councillor Bateson.
For.
Councillor Bangor.
For.
Councillor Bond.
Against.
Councillor Bowden.
For.
Councillor Cannon.
For.
Councillor Carroll.
For.
Councillor Clark.
For.
Councillor Coppinger.
For.
Councillor Carroll de Costa.
Against.
Councillor Wisdom de Costa.
Against.
Councillor Davey.
Against.
Councillor Davis.
Against.
Councillor Del Campo.
Against.
Councillor Hazel.
For.
Councillor Hill.
Against.
Councillor Hilton.
For.
Councillor Hunt.
For.
Councillor Johnson.
For.
Councillor G. Jones.
For.
Councillor L. Jones. Councillor Knowles.
Against.
Councillor Larkin.
Against.
Councillor Luxton.
For.
Councillor McWilliams.
For.
Councillor Muir.
For.
Councillor Price.
Against.
Councillor Rayner.
For.
Councillor Reynolds.
Against.
Councillor Sharp.
For.
Councillor Schilling.
For.
Councillor Singh.
For.
Councillor Simpson. Councillor Story. Councillor Targowski. Councillor Taylor. Councillor Teasley. Councillor Waters. Councillor Werner. So the results are 23 for, 17 against. The motion is carried.
Before we move to vote on item 7.2, do any councillors wish to say anything in relation to the fees and charges report that has not already been said already in the main debate? Councillor Del Campo.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a very quick question, which I hope somebody will be able to answer. It's just a line item in the new charges. Currently, if somebody wishes to have a grave reopened for a second burial, it's free, and that's going to go up to around £1,400. Now, I'd like to ask whether that's going to be retrospective or whether it's just for new purchases. And if it's retrospective, will the residents concerned be consulted or communicated? Because I imagine this will cause families great distress at the time, and they probably don't need it. Thank you.
Councillor Wisdom de Costa.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And it looks as if this budget is going to be approved. So my one question about the parking, the charges is to do with the parking permit charges. If people have been asked to pay, it would be reasonable for us to then put in more community wardens or more parking officers to make sure that those who are parking illegally in their spaces then actually get recognised. That will alleviate some pressure from our residents. Thank you.
I will now ask the clerk to take the name vote on 7.2. Nobody else can answer? Nobody else?
No answer.
No. Please, Marvin. Thank you.
Okay, members, if you can clearly state your for.
Oh, sorry. Right. Councillor Cameron?
I'm advised that the issue with the graves is not retrospective, And in respect to the memory loss of the gentleman opposite, we have already increased the number of parking wardens by 10%. So there will be more parking wardens allowed to now enforce the resident parking scheme.
Thank you. So now we'll go to the name vote on 7.3.
Councillor Baldwin.
Against.
Councillor Baskerville.
Against.
Councillor Bateson. Councillor Bangor. Councillor Bond.
Against.
Councillor Bowden. Councillor Cannon. Councillor Carroll. Councillor Clark. Councillor Coppinger. Councillor C. De Costa. Councillor W. De Costa.
Against.
Councillor Davey. Sorry, I didn't hear. Thank you. Councillor Davies. Councillor Davies. Councillor Del Campo. Councillor Hazler. Councillor Hill. Councillor Hilton. Councillor Hunt. Councillor Johnson. Councillor G. Jones. Councillor L. Jones. Councillor Knowles. Councillor Larkin. Councillor Luxton. Councillor McWilliams. Councillor Muir. Councillor Price. Councillor Rayner. Councillor Reynolds. Councillor Sharp. Councillor Shilling. Councillor Singh. Councillor Stimson. Councillor Story. Councillor Togowski. Councillor Taylor. Councillor Teasey. Councillor Walters. Councillor Werner. Results are 24 for, 13 against and 3 abstentions, so the motion is carried.
Before we move to vote on item 7.3, if any councillors wish to speak in relation to the capital programme that has not already been said in the main debate. Now, in that case, we go for a name vote.
Councillor Baldwin.
Against.
Councillor Baskerville.
Against.
Councillor Bateson. Councillor Bangor. Councillor Bond. Councillor Bowden. Councillor Cannon. Councillor Carroll. Councillor Clark. Councillor Coppinger. Councillor C. De Costa. Councillor W. De Costa. Councillor Davey. Councillor Davis. Councillor Del Campo. Councillor Hazler. Councillor Hill. Councillor Hilton. Councillor Hunt. Councillor Johnson. Councillor D. Jones. Councillor L. Jones. Councillor Knowles. Councillor Larkin. Councillor Luxton. Councillor McWilliams. Councillor Muir. Councillor Price. Councillor Rayner. Councillor Reynolds. Councillor Shaw. Councillor Shilling. Councillor Singh. Councillor Stimson. Councillor Story. Councillor Togowski. Councillor Taylor. Councillor Teasey. Councillor Walters. Councillor Werner. Yeah, the results 28 for, 11 against and 1 abstention. Motion's carried.
It's 11:15 now. I would like to remind you, do you still want to continue?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Before we move to the vote on item 7.4, if anyone has not said anything related to the revenue budget that has not already been said, please say now. I can't do anything better. Can you hear me now? Yes. Oh, sorry. Then moving on to vote on item 7.4. It's to do with the revenue budget. If councillors have not managed to say or want to say something, now's the time. No? All right, we've got the vote.
Councillor Baldwin.
Against.
Councillor Baskerville. Councillor Bateson. Councillor Bangor. Councillor Bond.
Yes.
Councillor Bowden. Councillor Cannon. Councillor Carroll. Councillor Clark. Councillor Carpenter. Councillor C. De Costa. Councillor W. De Costa.
Against.
Councillor Davey. Councillor Davis. Councillor Del Campo. Councillor Hazler. Councillor Hill. Councillor Hilton. Councillor Hunt. Councillor Johnson. Councillor D. Jones. Councillor L. Jones. Councillor Niles. Councillor Larkin. Councillor Luxton. Councillor McWilliams. Councillor Muir. Councillor Price. Councillor Rayner. Councillor Reynolds. Councillor Sharp. Councillor Schilling. Councillor Sim. Councillor Stimson. Councillor Story. Councillor Togosky. Councillor Taylor. Councillor Teasy. Councillor Walters. Councillor Werner. The results are 23 for, 17 against. The motion is carried.
Right, as I said before, it's 11:15. So we should continue. Okay? Yeah.
Can you tell me how much longer we will be or in a property?
Depends how much we are.
Sorry?
Depends how many people want to
I mean, is
say.
it going to be an hour till 12:30 or?
Well, what I would suggest is we go from 8 to, we do till 13. We must do that tonight.
Sorry?
8 to 13. Items from 8 to 13 is compulsory, we finish tonight. And then the others can be carried forward for the next meeting in April.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe I can help Madam Mayor and suggest that some of the Conservative councillors might want to sort of head off home tonight.
No, we don't do that. Okay, item 8. Strategy management. Councillor Hilton, please introduce the item.
Thank you very much. Madam Chair, this is the Treasury Management Report, and if members cast their minds back, we talked of this at length, or a very similar paper at length, on the 17th of December, so I'm hoping that we do not need to spend that length of time this evening. Essentially, this is the same paper that we saw on the 17th of December, but with the prudential indicators that look at our need to